Greetings, loved ones. Children who are exposed to domestic violence may experience a range of difficulties. Domestic violence takes many forms, including chronic arguing, yelling, controlling behaviors, intimidations, threats of suicide or murder, threats involving weapons, and serious injuries. There is always, however, a destructive undercurrent of power and control, with offenders commonly and compulsively grasping for the control that is lacking within themselves. Any pattern of behaviors in intimate relationships marked by coercive control can be a signal or foreshadowing of abuses. Today we're going to talk about the alarming effects of children's exposure to domestic violence. To help get these messages out, please subscribe to our channel, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, hit the like button, and please share these messages with others because you never know, just by doing so, you could save a life. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have reported that in homes where violence between partners occur, there is a 45 to 60% chance of co-occurring child abuse, a rate 15 times higher than the average. Even when they're not physically attacked, children witness 68 to 80% of domestic assaults. These numbers are a sobering reminder of the toll a violent environment can take on children. The circumstance of domestic violence leave caregivers emotionally and otherwise unavailable and unresponsive, and activate in children a primal fear and a host of other raw, complex, and unresolved emotions. Psychiatrist and researcher Dr. Daniel Siegel said, "The mind develops as the brain responds to ongoing experience. The pattern of living or firing neurons is what gives rise to attention, emotion, and memory. And what fires together in a combination of violent exposures and the child's underlying neurobiological experience wires together." The psychological aftermath of exposure to domestic violence include fear of harm or abandonment, excessive worry or sadness, guilt, inability to experience empathy or guilt, habitual lying, low frustration tolerance, emotional distancing, poor judgment, shame, and fear of the future. The attention given, emotions felt, and memories imprinted onto a child's brain in moments of stress become inextricably linked together and forever taint feelings, beliefs, and choices in relationships and so many other factors of life. These children are not merely innocent bystanders, they are victims. Although they may be unintended victims, living within a climate of chronic emotional volatility and near acute incidents of aggression has a way of searing a neurophysiological muddle, painful and isolating emotions existing alongside, and frequently unmet needs for affection and attachment. Parents who are themselves batterers are more irritable, less involved in child rearing, more likely to use severe and erratic physical punishment, and less able to distinguish their children's needs from their own. Both parents, regardless of culpability, risk poor emotional attunement with their children and consequently a decreased capacity to recognize stress and danger, protective factors which might increase a child's resiliency. Compared with other children, those who have witnessed domestic violence experience far greater incidents of insomnia, bedwetting, verbal, motor, and cognitive issues, learning difficulties, self-harm, aggressive and antisocial behaviors, depression and anxiety, as well as adult domestic violence, with boys often becoming offenders, victims, or both, and girls more likely to become victims. With 1 in 3 women suffering abuse and 45 to 60% chance of co-occurring child abuse in homes experiencing domestic violence, the question is not if you will encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. You are called. We are all called to be champions for justice. And those who suffer violence need to know that those who love them and those who don't even know them will step out and reach out to them to give them the help and the courage they need before it's too late. The series is dedicated in honor of Gabby Petito, a bright young woman whom the world has lost because of gender violence. Please check out the foundation her family created in her honor at gabbypetitofoundation.org. If you're a victim of violence, listen to me and know this. You are valued, you are loved, you're intelligent, you are beautiful. God does not want you to suffer violence. He wants you to live free from violence in peace and tranquility. There is a way out. Reach out to someone for help. It's not your fault. Abuse is not love. If someone says they love you and then they abuse you, they're lying. It is not love. If you are a victim of violence and or find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit that like button, and please share these messages with others. You never know. Just by doing so, you could save a life. Tomorrow, we're going to talk more about the alarming effects of children's exposure to domestic violence. And until then, God bless you.